Hey guys, it's Helen. Time to answer the Q&A. The first two questions are from the real Plotagon Creeper. Great username by the way, kudos for that. He's asked me when and how I started beta testing for Plotagon, and what was my first successful plot. Now I'm not sure if this is because I'm a featured plotter or because I love this app, but I seem to get things earlier than most other plotters. My channel has seen a fair amount of Plotagon firsts. But what I pinned down to be my first real experience as a beta tester came in the updated voice record. Voice record only became a thing a few months after I got here, so I'd say it's still fairly new. A lot of people take it for granted, and after a while I got a message from class. He was going to send me the beta version of Plotagon with a new updated voice record to try out. I made a plot, though I think the crazy cat lady got more attention than the updated software. She was unreleased at that time. How? Well, I guess you have to sacrifice your soul to Sweden. I'm not entirely sure why or how I got here. Looking at my channel, you would think that my first plot was my first successful one, as it has a lot of likes. This plot was staff-picked, but I only found out later, so I'm not entirely sure when or how, and I didn't really notice any success. My moment came in the Plotagon Profiles Challenge, my first challenge plot. I gained about 80 followers for that, and looking at the comments I believe that plot is what got me featured. Class would send an email to new featured plotters, telling them they were featured, and I think supplying a link to the group chat, but I never saw his comment or got an email, hence I was one of the last in my circle to join the group when Gorilla found me and let me in. Class asks if there's a song or an artist I secretly love that I'm afraid to tell my musician friends. I tend to like most music, but if I had to narrow it down, I wouldn't tell my friends that I secretly partied to One Direction. I wouldn't tell my pop friends that I liked Coldplay, and I wouldn't tell my classical friends that I liked Tippett. There was a bit of a "you're from Leicester, you hate Tippett" moment, and I agreed, and now I'm screwed. Martin asks what I want to do in the future, and what my career choices are if that doesn't happen. I could dedicate a whole vlog to this. What do I want to do in the future? I've wanted to form a hybrid band or get more successful as a solo artist, start a career in classical composition, become a lecturer in hybridity and or semiotics, start my own webcomic, launch my own fashion brand, write a musical. I have too many options, but I'm currently writing my application for a master's in creative practice. If all fails, I might work in a cafe and cry, or move to Sweden and beg Plotagon for a job. Levi asked me what I think of Linkin Park. Honestly, I can't really say much about them as I'm not incredibly familiar with the band. A lot of people give me slack for this, but they fail to remember that I lived under a rock for most of my youth. I had this attitude that I wouldn't try anything I hadn't already tried, and that included music. So the only music I really knew up until I was 14 was what my parents listened to. Electric Light Orchestra and the odd bit of classical, Mika and Busted. At 14 I started college, and the cafeteria used to play the latest hits on television. That was my first introduction to popular music, and that was 2012. So I basically skipped a decade, and then I somehow ended up listening to Irish and Welsh folk music for a good year. And then at 17 I discovered Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto and fell head over heels in love. Not long after, a certain McAdam finally persuaded me to listen to Panic at the Disco, and the rest is history. My musical repertoire is the biggest in the department. I can tell you which Catherine Tickell tune is going to play after a second of music. The same with Stravinsky ballets and Panic songs. It's fast. But there's still a whole period of pop and TV shows and basically anything from the noughties that I need to sit down and catch up on, but that isn't really my priority right now. Anyway, I hope that answers your questions. See you next time. Keep calm and stay awesome.